What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Victor. I'm a real estate agent here in Metro Atlanta. And if you're thinking about moving to one of the Metro Atlanta suburbs, Alpharetta, Georgia is a great option. So let's talk about what it's like to live in Alpharetta, Georgia. First off, Alpharetta, Georgia is in Fulton County, which is a very big county. It might be the biggest county of all of the counties in Metro Atlanta. And it includes lots of cities like Atlanta, Alpharetta, of course, Roswell, Milton, Union City, East Point, College Park. So there's certainly a lot of variety among the cities that are in Fulton County. Alpharetta is one of the northern cities in Fulton County, so it's north of Atlanta. Also on the north side is Roswell and Milton and Johns Creek. And Alpharetta is kind of right there in the middle of that northern section of Fulton County. It's right off of Highway 400, which is a lot like an interstate in Metro Atlanta, and it really provides very easy access to all of the rest of the parts of Metro Atlanta. Of course, if you're thinking about moving to Alpharetta or any of the suburbs around Atlanta, feel free to call or text me, email me. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out. I'm always happy to help. Some other main roads that run through the city of Alpharetta are Highway 9, which runs north and south all the way up as far as Forsyth County and as far south as, I think, downtown Atlanta. And then also Old Milton Parkway is one of the main roads that runs through Alpharetta, Georgia. There's the Avalon is off of Old Milton Parkway. Downtown Alpharetta is kind of close to the intersection of Old Milton and Highway 9. And the downtown section of Alpharetta is really one of the biggest draws to the city of Alpharetta. That's where you can find lots of restaurants, lots of shopping right around there. There's also a lot of events going on there in the downtown part of Alpharetta on evenings and weekends. They sometimes have a farmer's market or local vendors will come and sell things there in the downtown section of Alpharetta. It's really a super popular place to visit. And if you're ever in Alpharetta, Georgia, you certainly want to check out downtown Alpharetta. Overall, the feel of Alpharetta, Georgia is very much like a family-friendly kind of environment. It's certainly a suburban feel, as it is one of the suburbs of Atlanta. And so when you're driving through the city of Alpharetta, you really start to see that it's a very well-kept city, one of the most beautiful suburbs in all of Metro Atlanta. And that's because Alpharetta puts a lot of money towards their infrastructure, towards the roads and sidewalks there in Alpharetta. For example, in many other suburbs around Metro Atlanta, the power lines are on, power line poles that look like they're from the 70s and 80s, and they're falling apart. And sometimes during storms, those power lines tend to come down and cause power outages. Whereas in Alpharetta, those power lines are underground. And the reason for that is not only so that they don't have as many power outages, but it also adds to the general appearance of the city of Alpharetta. And then speaking of walkability and infrastructure, Alpharetta has this greenway. It's called the Big Creek Greenway, and it's kind of like a walking trail that stretches for miles as far north as the Halcyon in Forsyth County and as far south as the city of Roswell. And it's just kind of like a path or a walkway through some of the wooded sections of the city, and it's very safe. It's very family friendly. It's a very wide sidewalk, so you can ride bikes, jog, walk all along this parkway, and it's really one of the highlights of the city of Alpharetta. Another big draw for many people who move to Alpharetta, Georgia are the school ratings. Alpharetta has some of the best public schools, not only in the state of Georgia, but in the country. Schools that are rated a 10 out of 10 on greatschools.org all over the city. Really, no matter what part of Alpharetta you move to, it's very easy to find an excellent public school system. So the overall feel of Alpharetta, Georgia is one of really family-friendly kind of environment. There's a lot of families that live there in Alpharetta. And then also there is a lot of tech industry moving to the city of Alpharetta. The tech industry is growing not only in the city of Atlanta, but also in the city of Alpharetta. It's really becoming a very popular business there in Alpharetta. So there really are a lot of things going for the city of Alpharetta, and it's no wonder why so many people are moving to the city of Alpharetta. Now let's talk about some things that are specific to 2023 for Alpharetta, Georgia. For one, home values all around Metro Atlanta have kind of come down about 5 to 10%. In cities like Marietta, home values have dropped 10%. In Beaufort, Duluth, Suwanee, again, about a 10% drop in home values. And this really has to do with the housing market in general, the interest rates having gone up and there being less buyers. So home values have kind of come down. In Alpharetta, however, home values have not come down as much as other suburbs in Metro Atlanta. Currently, the average home value in Alpharetta is about $650,000, and that's really only about a drop of 5%. So you can see there really is a lot of demand for the city of Alpharetta, and that's one of the reasons why home values have not come down so much. In addition to that, the amount of demand that there is in Alpharetta means that the average days on market for a listing is pretty low. There's just a lot of competition among buyers. Lots of people want to live in Alpharetta, Georgia. Something else that's happening in the city of Alpharetta in 2023 is that the city is really putting even more money into the Greenway project. In just the end of 2022, in December, there was an approved budget of $2.2 million for improving the Greenway. Some sections of the Greenway, again, it's a very long trail, a very long greenway. Some sections of that greenway need some help. Some sections kind of need some improving, as it's really been around for a few decades now. So Alpharetta is putting even more money into the infrastructure there in the city, including in the greenway. So the process of making the city of Alpharetta even more appealing is something that Alpharetta is really focusing on a lot in 2023. Also in 2023, Alpharetta has approved a $14 million budget for improving some of the sections on Webbridge Road. The section of Webbridge from North Point Parkway to the Big Creek Greenway is one of the areas that they are focusing on and really trying to improve and make more easily walkable for the residents of Alpharetta. There are certainly lots of great benefits for living in the city of Alpharetta, like the downtown area, the ability to get around the city of Metro Atlanta using Highway 400, but there are also some downsides to living in Alpharetta. For example, most people who live in Alpharetta are kind of the same demographic. It's very often families or young families living there, as that's kind of what you would find in the suburban area. There really aren't a lot of young single people or people kind of like starting their career. Alpharetta is not really a good place for someone who is young and trying to, be in the middle of the action. The city of Atlanta might be a better place. For example, because of the average home value in Alpharetta, it's very possible to find more home for your money in other suburbs around the city of Alpharetta. Like Marietta has an average home value of $450, or Suwanee has an average home value of about $475. And so very often people who want to live in the city of Alpharetta or have the amenities of the city of Alpharetta will live just outside of Alpharetta and be able to have those same amenities, but pay a little bit less for their home or have more home for their money. And so that's certainly something to consider. Also, Forsyth County, which is just north of Alpharetta, is another really good option for finding more home for your money. In Forsyth County, the average home value is about $500,000, and it's just north of the city of Alpharetta, so you get a lot of the same amenities. Also, average lot sizes in Alpharetta are not very big. A lot of the homes in Alpharetta have recently been constructed, like in the last 10 to 20 years, and so that's a big plus. A lot of people are looking for homes that are a little newer, don't have that age to them. But what comes with that is that developers have preferred to build homes on smaller lots. So if you're looking for a suburb that has bigger lots, an acre or two, you really can't find that in Alpharetta. That's going to be more so farther from the city of Atlanta, so farther north. Counties like Forsyth County or Cherokee County in the Northwest. These are really the areas where you're going to find bigger lots. In Alpharetta, the average lot size is probably half an acre to less than half an acre. And then another downside to living in the city of Alpharetta is that there's not a whole bunch of things to do in the city of Alpharetta. It's really a family-focused kind of area. It's not like Midtown in Atlanta or Buckhead in Atlanta, where you have a never-ending amount of things. You can walk to the grocery store. You can, walk to entertainment. You don't have that in Alpharetta. Of course, there is no public transportation in Alpharetta, so you would need a vehicle to really get around the city of Alpharetta. So those are just a few things that you might want to keep in mind if you're thinking about moving to the city of Alpharetta. Of course, if you want to know more about what it's like to live in Alpharetta, Georgia, click on this video. I'll see you there.